What's happening? Hold on. Oh yeah, it's another dark cigarette conversation. And and when I say dark, I don't mean like darkness, like evil. I just mean like, look, I'm sitting in the dark smoking a cigarette. There's not much light. It is it's late in the night. This is this is my reflection time to look at things, reflect, and just chillax, man. Uh Without people, getting in people's way as much. So this is why you see me often in the dark cigarette posturing. But I'm gonna bring into remembrance, man, this preacher guy, man. Right before I moved down to Florida, so what? I was about 23, 24, about 10 years ago. And the dude, well, here, let me back up and talk about lately I've been seeing something going on, man. I mean, even I've been doing it to some extent because it's a necessity, and it's called harsh preaching. It's like out of there's another dude I've seen lately, man. His name's Paul Washer, and he reminds me of almost like Jeremiah, because it seems like he's almost weeping. You know what I'm saying, as he's preaching. And he's a Puritan. I mean, I don't agree with all their beliefs, but I see the dude's sincerity. You know what I'm saying? In his emotional usage during preaching. It's a harsh message he preaches. I was watching Sanderson. I got a lot of love for Sanderson. You know what I'm saying? Because he takes harsh stances in certain subjects, man. But man, the harsh preaching, man. I mean, it's necessary where it's like Jesus gave easy preaching to sinners, and he gave harsh preachings to Pharisees. Okay? So I think all of us need to follow Jesus's example since we come in the name of the gospel. And it also says unto the gospel, it says that we are to preach. Well, I don't know if it says it in the gospel, but it's gospel inspired that we're supposed to preach to every living creature. That's even beyond humans. So when you see me out here talking to birds, you think that I'm just insane. That's something God tells us to do, minister to every living creature. You know what I'm saying? Cuz if I'm ministering to creatures, it's because of the gospel. It's not because I am a spiritist. You know what I'm saying? And this harsh preaching, it's good, but it also this is the reason why I'm going to go back 10 years ago to this preacher guy, man, and he was I mean, here, yeah, I'll even tell his story. I mean, he lost his whole family basically in a house fire. And since he was not sad, I mean, he was sad, trust me, dude, that hurt. But he says it's God's will, in his mind. That's what he said to himself. And he kept preaching. And everyone was like, why didn't you lose faith? Why did God do that to you? And he kept preaching. And he made it to me at one point. He only preached me a few times, man. But uh, what he spoke on left an impact. The whole guile, the backbiting, the gossiping, the hate and haterade. That's what he talked about, guile. Why do we speak with guile when God gives us agape love? And that's what God is saying. Hey, you got to love your brother in order to fulfill the law. You know what I'm saying? And harsh preaching sometimes is loving your brother. So listen, and trauma based mind control is not tough love. Tough love sometimes means it's not what you do to people, it's what you take from people, but yet still show them love. That's what tough love is. It isn't what we do to people, it's what people do to us, and we still minister, regardless if they're trying to kill us sometimes. It's like that. But I see people, they abandon certain people. It's like, listen, if God abandoned them or they've abandoned God, it's our job to plead unto them one last time. All we got to do is reach one person once. That's all we're required to do. We can keep trying, but really, hey, I'm supposed to call out to them. You're supposed to call out to them. the next man's supposed to call out to them. This is God, man, speaking through us, calling out to people multiple times. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to always take the whole weight upon our shoulders. When Christ says, "Hey, my burden is light," hey, and his yoke is easy, that's because, listen, there's a whole body of Christ out here. We're all working together, so it's none of us are alone. We don't have to bear this weight alone. Maybe in our respective area, where our sphere of influence, yeah, we have a lot more influence. It's just like they said in China, man. That the symbol for louder or for older brother means the mouthpiece of the family. You know what I'm saying? I'm an older brother in my respected family. That's why I got the biggest mouth. And it's not, I don't run my mouth. I just speak on things because I'm older, so I'm more experienced. So I speak on things. And it's not what I speak on of myself, it's of everyone. I speak on things I've seen other people do too, which is a part of me because it affected me. It either influenced me in a positive way or a negative way. Either way, there's still a lesson to be learned from my experiences and yours likewise. That's why I peep a lot of you people and learn and glean from you what I can. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of you are just out here offering honest, sincere information like I am. Some of it is documented. Like me, I'm more on the speculations. And it's not, I wouldn't say theoretical, because listen, theory to some extent is true. To some of it is just speculation. It's on you to decipher and go and follow the leads that another person presents for you. Just like you do for me, I try to do unto you. Uh, because we're working together. And unto the brother who ain't listening, I know you plead to them, I'm pleading to them, and we can take comfort in the fact that we know, like, look, multiple people are reaching out to the same, crowd, man. And likewise with this guy, man, this preacher guy, he said, "Don't you know in the hood, you know what I'm saying, like where I'm at right now, you know what I'm saying?" He's like, "This, it's a gold mine for lost souls." It says in the Bible, it says, "One soul that gets winneth over, the whole of heavens rejoices." Souls are like gold, you know what I'm saying? And these physical things are like moth-eaten garments. You know what I'm saying? And people lose sight of that. That the ghetto is a gold mine of lost souls. You see that pimp out there? That's a lost soul. You see that hooker? That's a lost soul. You see that drug addict? He's a lost soul. You see that cop that's oppressing poor people? That's a lost soul. You see that politician that is taking bribes? That's a lost soul. Those are the people that need the ministering. The people that are so self righteous, you can't minister to them anyway. But at least the broken and the lost may hear you and get hope out of it. All a self righteous is gonna do is get infuriated, just like the Pharisees. That's why Jesus even said, "I can't even minister to people who think that they're righteous already." You gotta just humble yourself for a second, take a step back, and look who God was speaking to. Why is he always talking about the poor and the rich man almost doesn't have no hope? But the poor man is rich in spirit already, but he just doesn't even know it. And this is the big mystery, dude. And it's not even a mystery because God has revealed it to us through his word. All you got to do is just recognize it. You know what I'm saying? And I have recognized this by being a part of it and seeing it and being a lost soul myself in the ghetto or a ghettoer looking place. But to me, nothing's different. High society, middle society, low society, no society. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same thing. We're trying to survive, man. And but at least low society recognizes sometimes more than the high society that morality counts a lot more than we give it credit for. And where do we find these sources of morality? Well, one is in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? It tells us to love people, forgive people, man, to pray for them. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to call that the remembrance, man. While I'm still alive in the flesh with the ability to speak. I mean, I never even claimed to be perfect. But the reason I'm so flawed, man, in my weakness, that's when God strengthens you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I was had it all together, I wouldn't even be questioning none of this stuff. So even though, you know what I'm saying, I've had a view into the darkness of this world and this society. It's what allowed me to recognize that, man, I need God's assistance, or I'm lost on my own out here. I don't have man's approval. I don't have man's always assistance, man. You know what I'm saying? But uh, I've seen yet I'm here, yet we're here. You know what I'm saying? So there's hope in that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you still have a conscience to compel you to think about things like that, there's still hope, and therein lies, you know what I'm saying, the plan. You know what I'm saying, being fulfilled, right? Uh, right alongside of you and me and everyone else. Some of us recognize, some of us don't. And here's the thing: we gotta send out that trumpet, that watchman's warning. It's like, warning. Listen, hey, our society is waxing cold. They're putting bitter for sweet sometimes, and it's just like when Moses smashed the commandments. He was just frustrated. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look and think about God and us rebellious humans that He loves. He's got to be frustrated with us sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And that's understandable. No, actually, we should understand that totally. So that's, you got to look at it from both perspectives.